Now, there are some changes around UK visa application forms, but it seems it is tilting towards dependents more than it is tilting towards the main applicants. Some people are panicking about these changes and all. So in this video, I won't be talking to you guys about these changes verbally. We'll be applying for this visa. We'll be applying for a dependent visa together. So all of us will do it together and we'll see with our eyes what these changes are, and of course how you may be able to maneuver your way. I don't mean maneuver in terms of doing something dubious or tricky. When I mean maneuver, I mean how you can scale through the hurdles that is coming around this period, and how you can successfully apply for a dependent visa regardless of your situation. So you guys, let's get on with the video. By the way, you guys, my name is Chinemerem, and if it's your first time on my channel, hi, you are most welcome. Please don't forget to like this video, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, you are more than amazing. Thanks for coming back. So before I start, if you are still looking to apply for your visa, or you want to apply to study in the UK next year, you can contact Premier Academic Consultant would help you. Help you through the visa and everything. So you can contact Premier Academic Consult, and I may be the person to answer your queries, or somebody else will be there to answer your queries. Definitely you have someone to respond to your queries. But if you are confident in yourself and you want to do it yourself, now watch this video and I'll show you guys everything you know and how you can apply for your visa by yourself. Dependent visa application. And that's just it. You click on this, you read through. Normally you would read all of this. Remember that from next year January you can no longer bring dependents, but you guys, I'm going to be putting out a video on how you can bring dependents to the UK from next year, even if you're going for a master's program. So don't touch that down. So because you're applying from outside the UK, we'll just click on apply online as your partner from outside the UK. You will decide, you will choose where you are planning to live. So this bit, I'll just be quick about it. When I get to the hot bit, I'll be, I'll take it slowly. Here we're applying for a partner dependent visa, not a child dependent. So click on this and then we'll move on. It's more like all the information you will need for this application. So we'll go ahead and click on apply now. So we're about to start. You first of all register an email. Of course, you should use your correct email address. So the person you're applying with or joining, you can, put the name of the person you are applying with or the person you're planning to join. Ensure you're putting the right thing. So we'll continue. So this is just Chinemerem. Chinemerem, and that's my name. I just added dairy to my name. So say yes to this. And if they ask you, you put the person's passport number. Everything you're seeing here is not correct. So are you traveling before? You can never be traveling before your dependents. That should be, you should even take this option. Your option is we are traveling together if yes, and you'll be traveling after the person if that's also what's applicable. For this one, let me click we're traveling together. Then they will ask you for the person's current immigration status. Let's say, for instance, the person has not gotten the visa. You should know the visa the person is applying for. So that's what you would choose at this point. And we're going to go for the student one. So the student visa. So do you have their home office number and reference number and all of that? I will say no to this, but if you have the number, please kindly say yes. I'm saying no to this because I don't have any number to give to them. But if you have any number, if you have the GWF number or the VAF number or UAN, you would normally see this on the application form. If your dependent has already applied, you will see this number on the application form. So sponsor license number, I'm just going to be putting a random number. Save and continue. Make sure you're putting the correct information, please. So do you have their CAS? For this one, you'll be refused. You are likely to be refused if you don't give them your CAS. So I'll say yes, and I'm going to put this CAS number. So we're getting to that point now. Sex and relationship status, okay? This one, I'm female. So if you are male dependent, select male, please. If you are female dependent, select female. What's your relationship status? You can't be single and you're depending on somebody. So it's either you are married or unmarried partner, but you have to be someone's partner. Either you're single, you are married or unmarried. Now, if you say married or civil partner, we'll save and continue. If we save and continue, we'll put our address and we'll continue. they will normally ask you about properties and all. So I'll just put passport number here. So we've answered that bit for you. Now we're going to be going to the your partner's information. So it's Chinemerem that we use. Chinemerem. Date of birth. Please choose your partner's date of birth. I can't remember what I even did before, but let's use this one. Do they currently live with you? You can say yes. If not, you can say no. If you say no, they'll ask you for their address. Now, because I chose married, but we'll continue with yes, they live with you. Would they be traveling with you to the UK? When I started this application, I said they'll be traveling together, so I will still say yes. If no, then just say no. So at this point, they will ask you, do you have permission to stay as Chinemerem's partner? If you say yes to this, you would continue with the application. But this would normally be if you are already in the UK and you are applying for this visa. This is when they will ask you this question. Do you have permission to stay as Chinemerem's partner? If you save and continue, you will see this point where they've said, have you and living together in the UK? So that means you've been given permission before to stay in the UK. So when you said yes, you will now come here and answer this second question. But for this application, I'm assuming that the person that is doing this application, they've not been to the UK before. So I'll go back to this application form and say no. So you now say, was the last permission to stay as Chinemerem's partner? No. This person have not been to the UK before, so I don't understand this your question anyway. So relationship with your partner. Are you and your partner married or in a civil partnership? Yes. Continue. And then, do you have this certificate, whether marriage or civil partnership certificate? You can say yes. And then, another tricky bit. What is the start date of this, your marriage? Now, I'm going to be putting 1st of February 2023. Now, what's the next question? Save and continue. The next question would be arranged marriage or civil partnership. That's where this thing will come up. So let's go back again and let's put this as 2022. Save and continue. They will still ask you arranged marriage or civil partnership. Let's go back and put it as 2021. They will still ask you arranged marriage or civil partnership. Living together for the last 2 years. Have you continuously lived together for the last 2 years? Say yes, then you save and continue. Now you will ask you documents in both your names. Do you have documents in both your names to show you have lived together at the same address for the last 2 years? And you can click on here to see the kind of documents you can provide for this. It can either be tenancy agreement or letter from landlord. It can be mortgage agreement, or just read through this and you will see what they're asking you of. For this tenancy agreement, if you don't have it, you can get, because I know in Nigeria, we don't really always have the tenancy agreement, or sometimes you may not have your partner's information on the tenancy agreement. So you can get a letter from your landlord if you are renting. If you are not renting and you are the owner of your house, you can get, if you have a bank statement, maybe a joint account or something like that, you can get it. Now, this place is beyond get pictures and all that from your past and all that and all that. So that will not give them a real picture of your relationship. Your picture is good, your chat is good and everything, but it doesn't give them the real picture of you living together for the past 2 years. You need to get something that is an official document that is in your both names. It can be tenancy agreement, mortgage. Don't get me wrong, you can get pictures as well, your chat and all, put that all together. But relationship, because they know that being in a relationship is beyond chat and pictures. It is beyond your lovey-dovey moments. When it comes to these things like these things are serious things. The documents you can provide can also be an individual document, but it should have the same address. The address should be the same for you and your partner. So would say for this, yes, we've got this document. If you don't have them, you may want to start thinking about this now. Now watch this one. Let's go back and put it as 2020. This is 2020, and it is not asking whether it is an arranged marriage or stuff like that. So you can see that this is mainly for those that are maybe have been married for the past 2 years. When I did 2021, they still asked that question. When I did 2022, they asked this question. When I did this year, they asked that question. But when I did 2020, they didn't get to ask that question, which means it is for those that have been married for the past 2 years. Now, for this person that is married since 2020, they can now ask you this question: are you married to or in a civil partnership with any other person? You will say no, then continue. But how about if you say yes? Been married or in a civil partnership before? If you say, you can say yes, and you can say no as well, and then continue. So you can see the difference. If you've been married since 2021 down to 1990s and all, I don't think they will ask that question, because from this form we have seen it ourselves, we've seen it together, that they didn't ask for the person that said they've been married since 2020. But for those that said for 2021, 2022 and 2023, they still ask them that question: have you been, is it an arranged marriage, and stuff like that. That doesn't mean that if you've married for since 2021 and below, you cannot still get all those documents and show them that you've been married to this person. But I think it's more serious if you tell them that you are, you've been married for the past 2 years or thereabout. We'll go back and continue for the person that been married for the past 2 years. So the part where if we can get pictures and all that, and only that to be okay, is if you have been married for the more than 2 years, you can get your pictures as proof of a relationship and all. But if you've been married for less than 2 years or 2 years or thereabout, getting your chats and pictures is okay, but it is not just the only thing you should get. You should also get something that is kind of very genuine for them before you apply for the visa, because if you don't get all those documents, you are likely to be refused. Now we'll continue this application based on yes, you've been married for only 2 years. That bit. So that's basically how you will go about it. On you. If you have any, you can say no, but because I know that, let's say this year marriage is for 2 years, let's just say no, and then we'll save and continue. And give details about your first parent. You just give details of your parents, date of If you have any family in the UK, you can say yes. If not, just say no and then continue. If you have any additional information about your application, maybe there's something you want them to know or something you want to tell them about your application, perhaps about your dependent, about the evidence you are providing, about your source of income, in fact, anything at all, you can give them those information in this box. You only have about 1,000 characters, so you can give them something very detailed. But of course, you should give them something that is a bit detailed, And if you think it's not enough, you can write a letter and upload with your other supporting documents. Now you can check your answers at the end of the thing, and you will see. Let us go to the next section. You have to go through this over and over and over again. So this is continue. Then documents. So yes, if your partner has already supplied them, given them maintenance funds for both of you, you can just say yes. If no, and you want to supply more information, you want to supply more documents or more evidence, then you save and continue. Now the evidence you would need, you can just say pick any bank. So let's say Union Bank, and statement from the bank, then you continue. So you can see for this person that is a married partner, this application was done for a married partner, but they've been married for only about 2 years, less than 2 years or 2 years thereabouts. So they're asking the mandatory documents you would supply is the passport or travel documents for you, the 2 documents in both names that show you have lived together for the last 2 years. Have you seen where I've said that you giving them your pictures and your chat doesn't make any much difference? Your chat and your pictures wouldn't hold much water in this scenario because they're asking you beyond that. You can also add that, you get, but you, if you ask me, I think you also have to add that, but you also need to add two documents in both your names that have showed you've lived together for the last 2 years. So again, like I said already, your chat and all is no longer enough. Ensure you are putting these documents they're asking. These are mandatory documents. You can't just say I won't put them. It's not like your qualification that you say, oh, I may decide to put or I may not put them. You must put them. So you have to tick that you put them. If you don't put your mandatory documents, your visa is likely to be refused. And then we'll continue. And basically that's that about this application. We've gotten to the end almost, because at this point all you need to do is to declare and then go for IHS, pay for IHS and pay for the visa itself, book your dates, upload documents, and then that's it. You get. So we're done with this, and this application was for the person that had been married for for less than 2 years. Let me change it and say I won't put those two documents. Let's see what it will say. So you see, you have to tick all the boxes to agree that you provide this document. So we can't do anything about it if we don't provide that. Now let me go back and say that this application was for somebody that has been married for more than um 2 years. So you can see I have changed the information to they've been married for more than 2 years, and you can see that these two documents in both your names that show you have been together for the past 2 years is no longer there. It's no longer one of the mandatory documents to provide. It's no longer there at all, but it's also okay for you to provide that. Do you understand? But if you're going to be saying, oh well, we've been married for 2 years and thereabouts, you have to provide these documents, right? So you guys, I hope that was clear enough. Yes, we've seen it. If you've been married for more than 2 years, you don't have to panic. Well, it doesn't apply to you, although I would advise that it is okay if you can get something like that to put to support your application, even if you've been married for more than 2 years. But if you have been married for 2 years or less, I'm not even advising you. I'm telling you, you must put it. It's no longer an advice. You have to. And if you are also unmarried, that would also apply to you as an unmarried partner. So now gone are the days of pictures and chats. Yes, past years, in the past years, you could just submit your pictures and your chat with your marriage certificate, and they would accept that. But if you go with those ones this year, they may refuse your visa. So you guys, that's that about this video. The main thing is don't panic. Please, people are panicking. People are already sending messages. What do we do? Please, kindly don't panic. These documents are things you can get, okay? So don't panic about it. Just ensure you're getting the right documents and they are genuine. And of course, your visa will be successful. Okay, that's that about this video. I hope it helps. Until I see you guys again in the next video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So take care.